Welcome to our meditation time together. I would invite you first just to get comfortable wherever you have found your spot for these minutes that we have. Some of you, it's a predictable spot that you always arrive in. Some of you, maybe you're in transition, but wherever you are, just get comfortable. And then once you do, just allow your eyes to gently close or look down away from the screen and just settle into a nice, calm pace of breath. Our time together for these few minutes that we spend each week is a guided meditation on something that will help our thoughts to stay focused and in the present moment. So we always start with some things to think about, some things to visualize, just to allow ourselves to let all the distractions go. And then we spend just a little bit of time sitting in quiet, each of us in our own space, just allowing those thoughts to hopefully keep us in the present moment, and if not, to draw us back here. And so I want to remind you as we get started, this is a practice. This is not something we are trying to master. It's not something that we can fail at. We show up. We seek the amazing incredibleness of the present moment. And we do our very best to stay right here. And then as the mind tries to distract us, we offer ourselves grace and compassion, and we come right back. So let's start together with just a few collective breaths. So just take a long, slow, deep breath in, and then let it go. And another long, slow breath in, and let it go. Just a couple more, breathing in and breathing out, and in and out. And if you notice throughout these minutes that we're going to share together that your mind starts to go somewhere else, come back to the breath. Just tell yourself, I am breathing in and I am breathing out. And that will help to trigger your thoughts and your heart and your body that I really want to stay right here and now in this present moment. And so as we've settled in, I want to take our focus to some of these soul questions that we often ask in our time together. The last time we came together, I asked you the first two, which are, who am I and what do I want? And we sat together and we thought about these and we let them just kind of hold space, not always looking for the answers, but just asking the questions of who am I and what do I want? And I go back to those two because the third soul question that I was given by my teacher tells us to go a little beyond that. And so I'd like to do the same with you. So after we've thought about and we've kind of ruminated on this idea of who we are and what do we want, then it's time to go deeper and begin to ask the question of what is my purpose? What is my purpose? We wake up every day with plans, with expectations, with things to do. And somewhere in there, we start to try to define our purpose. We have many different purposes as life changes. Your purpose shifts with the different roles that you serve in life, with the different phases wherever you are, the different things that you experience. Sometimes our purpose is very worldly defined, and it actually sometimes takes us even further away from our real purpose. But the idea is our purpose shifts, and it changes, and it evolves, and it transforms. But I would like to propose that the purpose of who we are can't be defined by the world's expectations or timelines or roles. It has to be defined by something internal, which is why we can't start off with asking, what's my purpose? I have to start by asking, who am I? And so what you'll find in your meditation practice is we don't sit and try to find the answers. We sit and we ask the questions. And we learn to be patient and open, constantly seeking. And sometimes we leave these minutes and we have clarity, and sometimes we still just have the questions. And so I would invite you, as well as myself, to be okay with that. Because maybe for some of you, you've defined this idea of purpose in a lot of different ways. And this thought of defining it internally is a little new, maybe even a little abstract. And so we're going to spend the next few times that we have together across these next few days continuing to ask that question in a few different ways, so that as we continue to ask, for each of us, it will get a little more clear. And then the most beautiful thing begins to come out of that question. When you start to have clarity about your purpose, it gets really easy to make decisions about what to do and how to spend your time and who to let into your space and where to invest your energy. Because once you catch a glimpse of your purpose, you don't want to do anything that distracts from it. So let's just sit for just a moment and just ask ourselves that question. What is my purpose? And I want to give you some more questions to maybe help frame it just a bit. Ask yourself, what do I care about? What am I passionate about? What do I see myself being able to achieve by this life that I've been given? And sometimes those questions help to guide our thoughts toward this purpose that only you can fulfill, just as my purpose is one that only I can fulfill. And so I want to ask those questions once more, and then we're going to just sit for just a bit. And again, we're not trying to answer the questions. Be open and patient and just sit with the not knowing and be okay with that. So begin to think to yourself, what do I care about? What am I passionate about? And what is this life that I've been given meant to achieve? And let's let those questions, let's just let them hang in the air between us, holding space, and allow us to just sit with this idea of our purpose. Your mind is going to try to answer it because you have a thinking, logical, efficient mind. But maybe you let that part of you grow quiet and you just sit with the question. One breath, one moment at a time. Just continue breathing in and breathing out. And I want to offer a little grace to each of us, because chances are we have all defined and sought after this idea of purpose in a lot of different ways across our life. None of those were wrong. None of those were bad. They were just where we were in that moment. But the fact that a meditation practice has become a part of your life, the fact that you show up and you seek what this present moment has to offer, is a sign that you're looking for a purpose that perhaps looks a little different than the ones that you have sought before. And so I would just offer the grace to each of us not to think that we've defined this incorrectly or that the purposes that we have sought after were wrong. Let those experiences inform who we are today. And then be okay with the not knowing for a little while. Because I will tell you that while my purpose has become really clear over the last several years, I still don't know it fully. But each time I sit and I am quiet and I am still, it gets a little clearer. Also, things that I maybe have been engaging in or a part of that weren't part of my bigger purpose, all of a sudden the light is cast on those and I realize they don't belong in my life. And so sometimes this seeking is also looking at how I spend my time, where I offer my energy, where my resources go, and the people that I'm with. And so just know this is a life's work. It's not something we show up for on a Sunday evening and we solve it in a few minutes. But we do change the direction of our path when we show up and we start asking the question. And so as we prepare just in the next couple of minutes to close our time, I want to ask all three of those soul questions. Because for some of you, you're still sitting with the first one. And so this idea of purpose seems a little far off. So as you go through this week and the days to follow, just continue to ask yourself, who am I? Who am I? What do I want? And what is my purpose? And if you'll go back to some of those other questions that I offered, maybe clarity will come. And if not, you'll keep asking the questions. Just think about, what do you care about? What are you passionate about? And what is this life that we've each been blessed with meant to achieve within this world? I do want to offer to you at the same time that I give you grace for yourself about not knowing the answers and being okay with that. I also want to offer you hope. Because the more that you learn to sit and be, the clearer it becomes. And then all of a sudden, all the parts of your life begin to line up. And you begin to truly feel this idea of unity and peace throughout every part of you. So wherever you are on this journey, whether it is needing grace for yourself and acceptance that this is where I am right now, or maybe it's hope that if I keep showing up, it will become clearer. Whatever it is that you need, take that away from these few minutes. Let it inform your day and then the days to follow. So together, let's just take a few more breaths as we prepare to close our time. Just a long, slow, deep breath in and let it go. And a long, slow, deep breath in and let it go. One more breath in and let it go. Let's just each commit to stay open to the question that is asked of what is my purpose? And know that we are okay if the answer doesn't come just yet. Keep asking the question, one moment, one breath at a time. Namaste.